back to the Bastards YouTube channel. I'm Terry. I've got Nick with me. Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Terry?
Not too bad. So we've got some Garrett Whitlock discussion to be had here on this episode. Before we get into that, as always, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to comment down below. And as always, our regular podcast is on Spotify as well as Apple Podcast and every major platform. So yesterday, which was Monday, Alex Cora revealed that Garrett Whitlock isn't quite far enough along yet with his hip rehab to necessarily be guaranteed to start the season. So there is a possibility he could miss out on the season opener. Are you surprised at that?
Not at all. I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is because here's an issue that's kept on coming up for Whitlock. Was that hip fully ready when he came back out to pitch here for spring training? Was he fully healthy? That's my question that I have there. Or was this more of a let's try and ramp up, let's get him into the rhythm so he's ready to start? Because that's the biggest emphasis on Garrett Whitlock for this spring training.
Yeah, and before we get into the numbers, I mean, he hurt his hip last year covering first, but didn't immediately go on the injured list. He kind of labored through it, and then eventually they're like, okay, we need to get him some treatment, rest him up a little bit. Then he came back later on in the season, pitched some more, had surgery in November, and there were tweets the second week of December that he was a week away from basically resuming throwing.
Yep.
So here we are 2 months later and not quite far along. And I guess to be specific, the area that they're being cautious with is the fielding work, taking grounders, covering first when they need to. They just don't seem to think he's ready enough to be mobile in that regard. He is pitching off the mound, and by all accounts, there's no ill effects there, but certainly some durability issues nonetheless.
Something that he's honestly been fighting for most of his career, if you look at it, minors and everything from it. So this is a prove it spring training here for Garrett Whitlock to tell not only himself, but the rest of the organization that he has the capability of getting in that rotation.
Absolutely. And why don't you go ahead, take us through the year by year, because he has not pitched a lot of innings outside of maybe
he doesn't have that much mileage on him. So just so our folks here are aware, 2016, that was his year 20 age. He pitched 51 innings. He was with Alabama, Birmingham. That was part of the NCAA level. Then in 2017, he threw 60 innings. So moving up 10 right there. Not that substantial. Then it was in 2018, that was with 3 different teams. That was a combination of Trenton, Tampa, and Charlton. He threw a combined 120 innings there. So definitely ramped up. Then 2020 came. That's when the Tommy John hit. For the Red Sox in 2021, he threw 73 innings. And then this past season, he threw 78. Don't think you need to be a mathematician right there to figure that out, folks. He doesn't have the capability, at least in my opinion, to have the faith in the fan base and management to anchor a part of that rotation.
We're already worried about durability in other guys. You have Corey Kluber, 37 years old, has a bit of an injury history. James Paxton has been injured his whole career, it seems like. Never pitched more than, I think, 150 innings. He's turning 35, hasn't pitched in a few years. Chris Sale, age 34. So you got some older guys there, and then you have Whitlock, 26, and we're already the most concerned about him. And you go into your yearly breakdown there. 2021, obviously his best year. As a professional. 73 innings. Those were high quality innings out of the bullpen. Is it possible that's really what he's going to be?
It very well could be. I very much liked him in that 6, 7, 8 inning role. I did. I think that's where he shines. I think that's where this team needs him to be another stabilizing force in a bullpen, which on paper, depth wise, looks very good. But as you said, Terry, age is the biggest thing here with this group. They are one of the oldest, if not oldest, ball clubs, specifically pitching wise, in the league. So they need as much depth and as much weapons coming from that rotation and that bullpen to compete here in the AL East, if they can compete. That's the big question here.
Tanner Houck, also the same age. I think we can both agree we like him better in the rotation than the bullpen. However, he had back surgery last off season. So it's just, it seems like unsustainable pitching staffs are the hallmark of Chaim Bloom's tenure in Boston. So I just, where is the durability going to come from? Are their stars going to align and they're all just magically finally going to be healthy again? I think that's what we have to hope for. And it's just frustrating that, this is his fourth year, Bloom's fourth year, as the top executive in the Red Sox front office, and lots of
Still have any questions?
yeah, sustainability is a big issue, but hopefully, things will progress for Whitlock. I mean, maybe I think best case scenario at this point is maybe he's ready opening day in a bullpen role, and then second, third, fourth week they'll start to stretch him out to see what he can do as a starter, if that's going to be viable. I mean, we're all resigned to the fact they're at least going to try. That's what they've been saying.
They're going to keep trying. I just hope that this is not a Daniel Bard part 2. That's my hope.
Don't ruin the kid because he was so good. That fastball, slider, yeah, nasty. He just got so many swings and misses with the slider especially. So all right, we will wrap on that. Again, like, subscribe, find our big the regular show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Hope you're enjoying it. We will be back soon. Take care.